everyone, welcome to the channel. In this video lecture, we will be discussing about cascading style sheets class selector. In previous lectures, we have already discussed the basic definition and different types of selector that is very important for our examination point of view. Now, in this video lecture, we are going to discuss one of the most important and most commonly used type of selector, that is class selector. So we will start with basic introduction part. After that, we'll move to the practical section. So before moving to the definition of class selector, you should revise the basic meaning of selectors. So in CSS, selectors are used to select the content you want to style. And also selectors are the part of cascading style sheet rule set. So selectors plays an important role whenever you are creating a web page, right? So if, for example, in my web page, if I want to use a paragraph tag, okay, I want this paragraph in a red color, font size 40 and right alignment, okay, and again I am using a particular paragraph, okay. Now I want this paragraph in different color, in different style. For this we can use selectors, okay. For example, if in the second paragraph I want its color, font color in blue, text size 30 and alignment center, then I can use selectors, okay. So here we have 5 types of selector. First is element, second is id, and another is class selector. Element selector and id selectors we have already discussed in previous lecture. Now let's move to the class selector. So the class selector selects the HTML elements with a specific class attribute. So remember this point, whenever we are talking about class attribute, we always use a symbol that is period character. In simple terms, it is a dot, it is a full stop. In case of any programming language, we call this symbol as period character. Okay, so whenever we are talking about class selector, remember this particular symbol. Similarly, in previous lecture we have already discussed about id selector. So in case of id selector, whenever we use hash symbol, it is the symbol of id selector, okay. And for element selector, we don't use any symbol, okay. So all these 3 types of selectors are very important, and I have already discussed everything in detail in previous lectures. And students, if you forgot to watch any of the lectures, you can check the description box. I have already added the link there. So also the dot class selector selects element with a specific class attribute, and you can also specify that only specific HTML elements should be affected by a class, okay. So now let's move to the practical part. For this, let's move to the Notepad++ section, right? So here in the Notepad++ section, write your basic HTML structure first, as we already do, okay. HTML, then head. After that, write your title part, that is class selector. Then close this title part, okay. And in case of CSS, before closing your head tag, you should add what? You should start your style tag, okay. So style, and then close this style tag before closing the head tag, okay. So this is basic HTML structure. Now let's write body tag and close body tag, and then close your HTML tag, right? Now let's say I have one paragraph, that is P, okay. So in P, this is my first class selector example. You can write any statement, okay. Then again I'm using paragraph tag. This is the best CSS lecture series, and close this paragraph. Now, as I have told you in this particular example, if I want to give my first paragraph a red color, 40 size and light right alignment. And now when we are talking about class selector, I have told you in case of class selector, the symbol you can use is period symbol, that is a full stop. So give a paragraph name. Before moving to class selector, let's say I'm writing here paragraph. Its attribute is color red and then semicolon. Save this and save this as class dot css, right? So here we have, let's just save this again. Save as class dot html. Okay, save and run your program. So this is my first class selector example, and this is the best CSS lecture series. I have given paragraph color, paragraph tag a red color. Okay, so this is what, this is simple CSS. Now in this video we are talking about what? We are talking about class selector. Okay, so let's write here p class is equals to, give it any color. For example, I'm giving it a color first. You can write anything, and for this, let's say first. Now save this and refresh. You can see it does not work properly. It is not working properly. Why? Because I have told you in theoretical part that whenever we are going to use a class selector, always remember to use a period symbol, that is a full stop, before this particular class element. So I am using dot here. Save this particular program and refresh. So you can see the difference now. Okay, so I hope everything is clear. Now let's take one more example. Let's add font size. Font size is 40 pixels. If you want, you can write px, otherwise it is not compulsory. Save and refresh. So its font size is now 40 pixels. All right. So this is how you can use class selectors. Now in this paragraph, if I write same class name, let's say first, save and refresh. So second statement will automatically capture the properties of this particular class that we used under the style section. Okay, but in this case we are going to we are not talking about same attributes. Okay, and for this, let's say I'm giving it another name, that is second, and refresh. Okay, now I'm giving it some different properties, dot second, then color green, font size, let's say 60. Okay, you can write any number here and refresh. Okay, so this is how you can use multiple class selectors together in a web page. Okay, now let's take one more example that will definitely clear all your doubts. And for this, we are not taking paragraph tag again. I'm taking here h1. For h1, this is my YouTube channel, and close.